What if a cancelled flight isn't the end, but the beginning? She just wanted to get home. He just asked for a charger. An airport, a delay, two strangers sitting too close to leave. 3 hours of conversation, quiet laughter, glances no one wants interrupted by boarding calls. From a chance meeting, to the first, "I love you," to jealousy that pulls them closer, to a proposal where it all began. This is a story about love that doesn't rush, about finding someone between departures, and about how sometimes life delays you on purpose, so you'll stay exactly where your heart begins.
Love Stories Max. Welcome to my channel. Enjoy watching, friends.
The cancelled flight. I didn't plan on falling in love at an airport. I planned to get home, kick off my sneakers, wash this day off me, and forget it the way you forget all cancelled flights. But life, as usual, had other plans. Our flight was cancelled at 6:40 p.m. No explanation, no apology that actually meant anything. Just a dry announcement and a wave of sighs, irritation, and suitcases scraping across the floor. I sat down by the window, where you can see the runway soaked in yellow lights. My phone showed 9% and glowed red stubbornly, as if it, too, was offended by the evening. "Do you, by any chance, have a charger?" I looked up, and that was the first time I really saw Ryan. He'd been sitting next to me for about 20 minutes already, but in airports people turn transparent. You look through them, not at them. He had slightly messy dark hair, a gray sweater, and eyes the color of wet asphalt, warm, even when tired. "I do," I said. "But it's short. We'll have to sit close." "That works for me," he smiled. So that's how we ended up next to each other. One phone between us, our shoulders almost touching. The first few minutes we were quiet, listening to announcements that promised nothing. Watching people call someone important and say, "I'm stuck." I felt the charger warming in the outlet, and for some reason, it felt incredibly intimate. "Where were you flying to?" he asked. "Home. You?" "Same. Though right now that sounds kind of abstract," he smiled softly. We started talking, carefully at first, as if checking whether we were intruding on each other's space. Then more easily. I learned that Ryan works with music but doesn't like loud concerts. That he always brings old headphones when he travels because they remember the right songs. That he's not afraid of flying. He's afraid of the moment after landing, when you don't know who's waiting for you. I told him I love airports, even though I've never admitted it out loud. That they feel like a pause between lives. That I often go somewhere when I'm not sure where I actually want to be. We laughed quietly, trying not to draw attention. Shared coffee from a paper cup. He gave me his scarf because the air conditioning decided winter was a good idea. My phone charged to 43%. His, to 51%. But we didn't unplug the charger. The third hour slipped by unnoticed. The people around us changed. Some left, others arrived, but we stayed. I caught myself liking the way he listened. No interrupting, no rushing, looking at me like everything I said mattered. I liked that he remembered small things. How I drink my coffee. How I squint when I'm tired. How I laugh while covering my mouth. When the speakers crackled again, we both tensed. If they announce boarding now, I started. That would be a little unfair, he finished. I looked at him, and for the first time, I realized I didn't want them to call our flight. I didn't want to stand up. I didn't want to say, "It was nice meeting you." I didn't want this evening to end. "Madison," I said. I never actually introduced myself. "Ryan," he replied, though it feels like we already knew that. We smiled. There was something very quiet between us, but real. Something that didn't need big words. The next announcement turned out to be another delay. And for the first time in my life, I was grateful for it. Because sometimes the most important meetings happen when you're not going anywhere at all. I thought that after the airport everything would fade, like steam from coffee. That we'd become just another, almost, story. But the next morning, my phone buzzed. "Ryan, I still think our flight was cancelled for a reason." "Coffee today?" I smiled before I even replied. That kind of smile only happens when you're already a little in love, even if you're afraid to admit it. We met at a small cafe by the river. Not trendy, not loud, wooden tables, warm lights, and the smell of cinnamon that felt like a hug when you walked in. Ryan arrived early. I saw him through the window, sitting with 2 cups of coffee, nervously twisting a napkin between his fingers. And in that moment, I realized he was nervous. "Because of me. I ordered you a latte," he said. "You drink it slowly." I paused. He remembered. We talked without rushing. About childhood. About rainy days we loved. About how strange life can be sometimes. And between the words, there was something else. Looks, pauses, smiles that lasted a second longer than necessary. He listened the same way he did at the airport. Like I wasn't just someone he was talking to, but a place where he felt calm. When we walked along the river, it was chilly. He wrapped his scarf around me again, the same one. And it felt incredibly right. We walked slowly, shoulder to shoulder. And I noticed I wasn't thinking about tomorrow. Not about what comes next. I was just there, with him. He stopped first. "Can I do something a little brave?" he asked softly. I nodded. He took my hand, carefully, like he was asking permission without words. And the world suddenly felt simpler, warmer, like we'd known each other for a long time. We'd just forgotten for a while. "I'm glad they never called our flight," he said. "Me too," I replied. Because otherwise I would have never learned what it feels like to wait for someone not at an airport, but in your heart. After that walk by the river, we didn't rush to label anything. We just were. Morning texts, evening calls, coffee, which he started drinking as slowly as I did. His scarf still smelled like his cologne and warmth. I kept giving it back, and it somehow always ended up on my shoulders again. We never said the word, love, like we were afraid it would hear us, and disappear. One evening, we were sitting in a small bar filled with yellow light and live music. Ryan stepped away to get drinks. And that's when I noticed it. He was laughing with the bartender. She touched his hand, casually, easily. And something inside me tightened. I told myself it was nothing. That we hadn't promised each other anything. But my heart didn't care much for logic. When he came back, I got quieter. He noticed immediately. "Everything okay?" he asked. "Yeah," I lied. "Just tired." We left early. Outside, it was cold, but I refused his scarf. I needed distance. At least a few steps of it. "Madison," he stopped. "You're pulling away." I sighed. Jealousy is such a small thing, but so loud on the inside. "I think I'm starting to feel more than I planned to," I said softly. "And that scares me." He was quiet for a few seconds. Then he stepped closer. "Can I be honest?" he asked. I nodded. "I'm scared too. Because I care. And I cared back at the airport already." He took my hands, warm, steady, real. "I don't want anyone else," he said. "I want you." Slowly. "For real. If you'll let me." I felt the tension leave my body, like someone finally exhaled for me. I was jealous, I admitted. And I feel silly about it. He smiled, not teasing. "Gentle. I kind of like that," he said. "Because it means you're here. With me." I leaned into him. Not fast, not rushed. Like I'd found a place I'd been meant to stand all along. "Ryan," I whispered, "I think I'm falling for you." He kissed my forehead, so carefully, like it was a promise. "I'm already there," he said. "And I don't want to leave." That night, we sat together in silence for a long time. His hand in mine. No fear. No extra words. And I realized. Sometimes a small crisis is just a door. And on the other side, you're closer than ever. He didn't say, "I love you," right away. Ryan was never careless with words. He did things differently. In a way where the meaning arrived before the sentence. It was an ordinary morning. Rainy. Slow. Ours. I was making coffee, barefoot, wearing his sweater, hair messy. Ryan was sitting on the windowsill, watching rain trace lines down the glass. "You know," he said suddenly, "I used to be afraid of landing." I smiled. I knew this story. Because I never knew who would be waiting for me, he continued. "Now I do." He walked over, gently took my mug, set it on the table, carefully, like even the coffee shouldn't interrupt this moment. "Madison," he said softly, "I love you. No drama, no soundtrack, just truth, said at exactly the right time." It took me a second to breathe. "I love you too," I said. "I was just waiting for you to say it." He smiled like someone who had found home. The proposal happened where everything began. At the airport. A few months later, he said we were going on a short trip. I didn't question it. I trusted him. Our flight was delayed again. I laughed. "You planned this, didn't you?" "A little," he admitted. We sat in the same seats. Same place. Same view of the runway. He pulled a charger from his pocket. "The same one, remember?" he asked. How could I forget? He plugged in my phone. The screen lit up. A video. Photos of us. Silly morning clips. His scarf around my neck. The river. Coffee. Rain. Us. Then words appeared. Sometimes a flight gets cancelled so you'll stay exactly where your life begins." He knelt down. "Simple, calm, real. Madison," he said, "I don't want to keep flying through life without you. Will you marry me?" I cried. I laughed. I nodded. "Yes. 1,000 times yes." Somewhere over the loudspeaker, they announced boarding. But this time, we weren't in a hurry to go anywhere. Our wedding wasn't loud. It was real. A small garden outside the city. Long wooden tables. Fresh flowers. Light that didn't blind, it warmed. I walked toward Ryan, not to a march, but to quiet music. The same song he once shared with me through his headphones, saying, "This one feels like peace." I remember looking at him and thinking, "This is my home." He looked at me like every delay, every doubt, every fear had only existed so we could stand here. "I don't promise to be perfect," he said in his vows. "But I promise to be present." At every landing, I cried and laughed at the same time. "I promise to wait for you," I said. "Even when flights are delayed." Especially then. When we said, "I do," something settled inside me. No fireworks. No storm. Just a quiet where everything felt right. A year later, we were back at the airport. Not for celebration. Not on purpose. Just life. Ryan held the coffee. I held the tickets. We sat side by side, sharing a charger. Ours now. "Remember?" He smiled. "How could I forget?" I said. I looked at him, my husband, and thought about how love changes. At first, it feels like a spark. Then like warmth. And then it becomes something that holds you, even in silence. We weren't afraid of delays anymore. Because we knew, wherever we were going together. I rested my head on his shoulder. He squeezed my hand. And when boarding was announced, we stood up without rushing. Because the most important flight of our lives had already happened.